today I will be looking into implementing some object collision detection stuff. Last time I was thinking about reusing sprites in the HUD for projectiles. However, I kind of want to have an item system in place before I do that. And yeah, right now I don't have an item system in place. In order for me to get an item system in place, I should be able to first, or I'd like to be able to pick up items first, and basically have them show up in this little top corner here. So when you hit an item, it destroys the object, and then it will show up in this corner here. And I'd like to be able to pick up different items and have different types of projectiles. And that will help me kind of figure out how I want to render different it'll help me figure out how I want to render different things. Is this a new project? It's not really. I've been working on this off and on for quite some time now. It's just kind of been in the background, but as of now, this is in I guess the center of my attention. But yeah, it's coming along. Key is consistency for any of this stuff. All right, well, with that, let's just jump in and just look at some of the code. So let's see here. All right. So yeah, last time I was fixing this interrupt for the HUD, and I discovered that weird issue with, the system not counting the scan lines properly when in 8x16 mode, and the program has 8 sprites on the scan line. So that has been addressed, and I made a note of that. But now I want to look at objects. So let me find, let's see. Yeah, I'll look at this object. Yeah, when you say you like the atmosphere, I'm not sure if you're referring to the dev atmosphere or just the atmosphere of the project. Let's see. All right. Object enemy bird. Let's find. Aha. Well, it's right here. All right. Now for the collision detection method, I need to figure out how I want to do this. I'm thinking I want to do something kind of like this, where I supply maybe 2 arguments. One argument will be maybe, let me think about this for a second. How do I want to implement this? Yes, you are referring to the atmosphere of the game. Yes, the atmosphere it's going to be really cool, I think. I got all the graphics, well, most of the graphics done. I still will have to touch up some of the graphics, which I probably will do on stream. I might make another world, which I'll stream as well, just so I have documented some graphic development stuff. But yes, thank you. As for figuring out collision detection, yeah, it's generic, or it should be. I don't know if I should make it generic or not. Might affect speed. Also, the more I'm thinking about this item system, I'm thinking I might have to rework the positioning of the data, the graphical data in Bank 7. I might have to, like, since slots are like, you know, the size of this color here, like this is one slot, this is another slot, I might have to, and if this is going to be in like every frame of the game, in the environment in which the engine runs, I might have to paste this a bunch of times, maybe underneath each of these player graphic slots. I don't know, something I might have to do. What kind of genre are you going for on this project? It is an action platformer, so kind of like Castlevania, kind of like Batman. That's kind of my goal here, is just adventure, platformer. The engine's got 8-way scrolling, so it should be able to do some cool platforming stuff. Although my max speed is now 4 as opposed to 8, that kind of limits things. But yeah, is what it is. Let's see here. So yeah, graphics. Yeah. Graphics, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to. Yeah, I'll worry about the graphics later. Right now I need to think about the collision detection. And for that, I'm thinking maybe I just pass 2 points as an argument. Well, ultimately I need to be checking collision against the player himself. And this kind of becomes an interval problem. For those of you who know your LEET code, this is a very classic interval problem. It's literally overlapping intervals. So like this would be the interval. Let me make this a different color. This would basically be the interval for the player. And typically for like enemy collision, God, paint is so buggy on Windows 11, sucks. Typically when you design collision detection with enemies, you don't want your player bounding box to be so big. Typically you want it to be like shrunken down, so it basically doesn't take up this whole space. It takes up like yeah, something more like this, something that's much more narrow. Yeah, because if it's the whole thing here, then enemies that like, you know, are right here relative to the player's position would trigger a collision, and you don't want that. So yeah, this is something I have to think about. Basically, for my interval, I'd have to like adjust it so the player X position would be here, and I wouldn't want to start at that position. So the player X position would probably be, what is this, 4? So I'd have to do like player X plus 4 for the start of the interval, and player X plus 8. Let's see. 4, I guess 8's not really enough. 11, 4 and 11 for the end of the interval for the X direction. Yeah, and I wonder if I should make that a variable. I wonder if my mask will ever change. Probably, actually. The answer is yes, because I do have crouching featured in this game. So yeah, the hitbox will need to change in the Y direction. So I will have to do that. Let me think. So I'm going to write collision detection from the perspective of the spawned object. I'm not going to write it from the object's perspective. I'm not even sure if... Yeah. I think I did that for one game once upon a time, and it just was not good. I'm sure it could work, but this is just the way I like to do things. So I guess for this object, I'm just going to be working on the bird. Bird object. And yeah, 'cause the reason why I'm not doing it with items yet, even though I want to work on items, is because I don't have my graphics organized just yet, and I just want to take care of this collision detection stuff. So, right. So from the object's perspective, its X position and Y position start in this corner here. And so let's just say that, you know, his interval is going to look like, I don't know, like this. And our interval looks like, I'll just do this. Let's see here. Like that. Yep, like that. So that's our interval. And yeah, the idea here is we want to see when this line overlaps with this other line. And we want to know the case in which you know, there's going to be this line for the height of the player, and this line for the height of the object. And it's the same problem again, it's just, yeah, it's just in the different direction. So we just have to check these cases where this interval overlaps with that interval, and this interval overlaps with this interval. And to create the intervals, all you do is you just take your one position and add the height and width to it. So for the object, the argument I want to pass is probably, I guess I don't need to pass the position. That's already inherited to the object. I would just need to pass the height and the width, unless I want a custom mask. Although I could always prime the X and Y position before I do the mask check, but then I'd have to change it back. which I don't know if I want to do. But yeah. And let's see if I remember what the rule is for intervals. It's like you take this point, this first point, and you check it against this point. So if this is less than this, yeah, the start of this one is less than the end of this one. I think it's something like that. Oh, let me think. Let me write this down. If I have an interval, let's see, A1, A2, 2, B1, B2, yeah, and this is my line here. Should make it bold. And then my line here. Yeah, was it? I know you. Yeah, let's see if I remember this. It's always one less than the other. Like A1 less than B2. B1 less than A2, is that it? Let's see. In this case, A1 is less than B2, and B1 is less than A2. And in this case, A1 is less than B2, and B1 is less than A2. And in this case, A1 is less than B2, but B1 is not less than A2. And in this case, B1 is less than A2, but A1 is not less than B2. Yeah, and if the interval is really narrow, like this, and we're in here, yeah, A1 is less than B2, and B1 is less than A2. Yeah, so that's the rule. It's real simple, but it can be tricky if you don't know that. Okay, so that's the logic that needs to be implemented in the X and the Y direction to detect overlapping intervals. Let's see. Am I using a tan sheet like a workspace for test assets? Yeah, I kind of just use this as like a sketch pad, I suppose. I use it for graphics, and I use it also just for notes. And I use Notepad for notes as well, just regular old Notepad. But yeah, this helps me kind of just get a quick, broad overview of how everything's organized here. So each of these are different data banks. So this is bank 0, this is bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, bank 4. MMC3 has a lot of banks, so yeah, goes up to bank V. And I also have them numbered here. These are used for actual bank swapping, since MMC3 has, well, actually I have it notes right here. So this is how I have the mapping configured. So you have different windows, and MMC3 gives you your own way of kind of customizing the orientation of these windows. And in my case, I'm using the first half of the VRAM name table for background data, and it's big chunks, and I'm using these smaller windows for the sprites. So if I want to load like this particular slot of graphics right here, that's why I have these like colors like red and blue and red and blue. If I want to take this slot of graphics, I can do that and put it into like this window right here, or this window right here, or this window right here, or this one right here. That's how that works. All you do is you'd load this number, like hex number 38, and you'd write to the register that loads that data in, that does the swapping, points to that bit of data, and then it gets rendered. But the trick is you only have so much space on the screen to show your stuff, which is why I'm going to have to like rework the organization of this graphical data here, because when I draw sprites, or not when I draw sprites, when I draw the item sprites, I can't just have this not loaded, right? Because right now it gets loaded during the HUD portion. So when the HUD is rendered, these graphics are loaded, and then the IRQ fires after so many scan lines, and then that data is swapped out with other data. I load both of these things in. So these are loaded into VRAM, and then it swaps it out, and you then have, I think I'm loading in the player, and I load in this enemy for the level. But since I'm going to always use this data here, I'm always going to be using items. I'm thinking what I need to do is either consume like extra space by copying it to each of these, and that way it eats up more memory consumption, but I save some space in VRAM as opposed to ROM space. Because right now I'm not using this section down here. So I could tack on something that gets carried over. So like, where is it? So you can see that down here. So here, all of these empty slots, all of these top graphics here are shared with these top graphics down here. They all get loaded together because this is the size of the window for MMC3. And I can't remember what I was going to do since it's been a long time since I touched this. I was thinking about maybe like having second player graphics here or something, but that wouldn't work because this is tightly coupled. So that is to say, if I had second player graphics, since this is tightly coupled to this, if I load a different animation frame, I'd have to swap this out, and a different player with different sets of graphics could be doing something else, and that would cause an error. So this probably is. I'm probably just going to put item stuff in here. I think that's the best thing to do, but I have to waste a lot of space. ROM-wise, but I've got plenty of ROM space now. So shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, and the graphics data here is not really polished. But yeah, so back to collision stuff. Yeah, the logic that I had is yeah, A1 less than B2, B1 less than A2. And I think I'm going to just pass. I think I'm just going to pass. What should I do? Pass the mask size. That's what I'm thinking. Because I could also pass an offset. I'm just thinking, yeah, if I could pass X offset, Y offset, so my arguments could be, yeah, like, X mask size, and then Y mask size. So that would be 2. And then I was thinking maybe the offset. X mask offset and Y mask offset. Those two things. Yeah. 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 X mask size, Y mask size, X mask offset, Y mask offset. I think that will work. And then I just return type would just be, I guess, 1 if there's a collision, and 0 if there isn't a collision. And I can reuse this function for all objects. So let's just implement this. Okay, so where do I want to implement this now? Object bird. Okay, I think this is, yeah, I think I'm thinking that I'm just doing nothing here. I think this is set position vars. What does that guy do again? Okay. All this does is just load the position into arg3 and arg4. Why the hell am I doing that again? Why am I doing that again? Yeah, this looks like it's a draw thing. I don't think I need to be doing this. I think this is a vestige. I don't think I need to be doing this here. Just to be sure, let me comment that out. And let me, where are you? Boom. Okay. Yeah, looks like the birds, they spawn properly. Nothing wrong with them. Something I also have to work on is despawning. I've yet to implement that as well. Okay, let's see. Yep, all the birds, they spawn. Yeah, that code was unnecessary. Pretty sure I used it in an earlier point in time. All right, so we don't need that. But this is where the state machine for the object, the bird object, will be. Yeah, I should really define that state machine. But I'm not concerned with actually defining all the logic for the bird right now. I just want to do the collision detection stuff. So we'd want to do something like maybe call, what do I want to call it? Collision check? Just simply collision check? I might have something like that already defined. Yeah, environment collision detect. So maybe just player collision detect? Because that's what this is. We're just checking to see if we're colliding with the player. Or is it object collision detect? I'll just call it object collision detect. Player makes me think it's coming from the player side. And in this case, it's not. It comes from the object. Let me check to make sure I didn't. Yeah, I don't have that defined anywhere else. Yeah, I have this routine here. I guess I'll just throw this routine here. Oh, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully this is not expensive. Let's see. arg1, I guess will just be mask x size. arg2 will be mask y size. arg3 will be mask x offset. arg4 will equal mask y offset. Okay. Okay. So now I need to think. I gotta remember what my who should have the result. I kind of just want to store it in a register if I can get away with it. I think X is protected. I think I'm using X as something. I can't remember if I'm using Y. I guess Y will be my result. I don't know if I'm using it or not. I guess I'll get some bad stuff that happens. Okay, let's think. So in this case, yeah, it's like what this thing does, right? Except I don't want to really be doing this. It just takes too much time to do. That's right. And I am not doing 16-bit calculations here. I'm doing 8-bit on-screen collisions. So yeah. It's a lot faster if I do it with the 8-bit stuff, as opposed to doing the 16-bit stuff. So that's why it's the ObjectX screen. Actually, I don't even need to load these into arguments. Actually, do I? No, I don't. Because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking them from down here. Taking them from down here. And adding them. So right, the offset. Right, because this is the on-screen position, is the little green pixel right there. And the offset would be like if I wanted the mask to be like right here instead, starting right there. Or over here, if I wanted to make it really narrow. So we need to get that screen position and then add the offset to it. Do I want to store it back into that memory location? I guess. Why not? It's not being used anymore. Yeah, this. Oh my God. This is now our. This is now our starting X pose. So in this case, it would be like our A1. A1 being like this thing, if this thing was A. And then to calculate actually, I think I still need this for something. Yeah, I need it for I have to do it for the other thing. I need to do it for. Okay, let me think. This is, so we have our offset. I just want to reuse it, basically. I don't want to have to recalculate this again. So I have to do this. I have to, oh my, we're here, then we have our offset, and I want to store this. So I store it in Y, and then we want to add the size. And then I want to store this somewhere else. So that's our offset. Screw it. I don't want to. I kind of want to start saving CPU cycles. And I have memory here, so why not use it? So arg5 becomes our starting position. Load, add the offset. This is now our starting position. Add size. And I don't know, 6. This is now our ending expose A2. That looks right to me. Now I just need to compare that. A1 less than B2. I'm wondering, is there since this, I'm wondering if I need to even just store this, because I could just immediately compare here. Instead of storing A into arg6, just say, you know, B1 less than A2, right? Now I need to remember what the hell my freaking variable name is for player position on screen. This is actually acting as screen expose. Hopefully my comment is true. It is. Yeah, the in-game one has to be 2 bytes. Because the world is a lot more than 256 pixels. Okay, so I have to compare that to this. So I might not need, I probably don't need to do this. Right now this is reversed. Because what's loaded in A is our A2. So if this is true, and this is true, so if it's not true, we branch if it's not true. We have to branch to the end if this is not the case. Let's see. Yeah, I have to think about this. This always mixes me up. Okay, if A2 greater than B1 and A1 less than B2, then do the thing. Else, if A2 is less than B1, if the register is less than, then we want to branch. Branch if it's less than. Let's call it done. Yeah, compare this. This is basically saying if A2 is less than B1, then halt or break. Yeah, because we don't need to do anything. Just to illustrate, yeah, if A2 is less than B1, if A2, if A2 is less than B1, halt, or break, I should say. We don't need to continue checking the collision because obviously they're not touching, they're not overlapping. Okay. And then I have to do I kind of want to just do this. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Oh, snap. Ah, crap. That's right. How do I want to handle this? Because this is just a point. I forgot. Do I want to create special variables for this? Because this is just a point. How do I want to update him? What do I want to do? I'm just thinking like, my Y, yeah, as I discussed earlier, my Y position will change. The mask will, the hitbox, the collision mask for the player will change the Y direction because of crouching. For the X direction, I don't know. Also, I really hope I'm not using Y. Do I want to create two more variables? Probably. Player X, mask, start. And yeah, if it's less than then it's true, but if it's greater than, we branch. Yeah, probably. Probably. Yeah. Branch. Not on less than, branch on greater than. Branch on greater than. I believe that's right. Well, now I have to now I have to create these variables. Yup. I should probably keep them around here. Okay, this is 300, 400. I need to confirm if I'm bleeding into here or not. Okay. Oops. And just one byte here. Whoops. And hit that button. Okay. Yeah, this is the on-screen X mask start. This is the on-screen X mask end. This is the on-screen Y mask start. This is the on-screen Y mask end. Okay. If the X mask never changes, then I shouldn't do it every frame. I shouldn't reload the data every frame. Trying to think if that will ever change. Why would it change? Wait, of course it's going to change. What am I talking about? It has to update with the player. The size of the mask may not change, but this stuff is all calculated still. Okay, so the size could be a constant, but for Y, it can't be a constant. Player Y mask size. This is the size of the Y mask. Note X is just a constant because it doesn't change. Now all this stuff has to get populated. Hopefully it doesn't take too much time to populate this. It has to be done in the main engine. Game engine. Yeah, I really should just remove all this old sprite stuff. I'm not doing any HUD flickering anymore, so not necessary. Update player controls. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking I should maybe update this stuff after. Oh no, I want to do it before or after camera stuff. I feel like cam stuff should be done as soon as it can be done. player, update player state. Okay. Update the player's state. I'll do that there. Okay. And the constant, I guess, is just going to be 4. And okay, 4. I guess while I'm debugging, or when I debug this, which I probably will have to do, I can always just change those things back to more simplistic values. So this is my value plus, this would be plus 4. And then from there, yeah, like plus 8. Okay. And then I guess I kind of want to do the same thing for the Y. Except it's not it's not addition, it's subtraction. No, it's addition. What am I saying? Yeah, top corners 0, 0. And then yeah. Then we want to add the mask size. Just like that. Okay. For now, it's just going to be 16. But depending on the player's state, as I build up the state machine for the player, this will change. Okay. All right. Okay, that should be it. Again, hopefully I'm not using Y. I might be using Y. Let me double check. Okay, so object bird. Which handle through this loop. Yeah. Transfer A to Y. Yeah, we jump. So I think, yeah, I don't think Y is actually being used. I think I just transfer A to Y. Right, because I load my object. I check if it's empty or not. Or I should say object slot. I look at the object slot, check if it's empty. Yeah, and I'm doing this Inc 4 crap because I'm updating, like, I'm not updating every object every frame because I know that I'm pushing the CPU to its limit with my scrolling crap. So that's why I do that. But A should contain the object instance. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't look like I'm using Y. So this should be fine. Okay, so I load my object, add the offset, that becomes my start. Put the start into Y. Okay. I guess. Maybe I just keep the value in the accumulator. Or I wanted Y to be my result, so okay. I don't know, compare it to 1. If I keep it in the accumulator, then I could probably save this. I could probably omit this compare. Yeah, let me just do that. Actually, I don't know if that... Does that work? I can't remember. I can't remember because we come back from a return statement. I can always optimize this later if I need to. Okay, what am I doing? I want to say if there's a collision, I want to terminate. If there's no collision, I want to branch. Just continue. But if there is a collision, right now I just want to break. Let's see if I left this thing around somewhere else. Yeah, I don't need you down here anymore. I kind of do. Kind of like having this one around. I don't need any of that. Yeah, I don't need any of that. Okay. Okay, hopefully I don't have too much damage. Seems to assemble fine. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, we're not hitting it right. Okay. I should not have hit you. Yeah, I really should not have hit you. So where did I mess up? Just go back to the beginning. Debuggers are so nice. Okay, so let me trace this side by side here. God. Okay. Object collision. Okay. So I load the object. Which is 80. Can I verify that? I mean, it looks like its on-screen position is 80. Yeah. Yeah, that's 80. Yeah, okay. So that's 80. So that's correct. $17. Okay. Yeah, you kinda need arguments. You kinda need arguments. you kind of need those. I don't think any of this makes sense. Yeah. Here. This is what you need to do. Okay. So the mask X size for the bird, that's going to be, so I should have left that up here. How much is that for the bird? I forget. $15? Let's just call it 14. 14 for the bird. That is E in hex. Okay. And the height of the mask, I want that to be let's just make it 10. For the offset, I don't know, like 4? I'll just keep it simple, 4 and 4. Okay. Okay. This is definitely going to slow things down. Because I have to do this like multiple times. I'm curious what the performance is. Or if this will like crash. Okay, I need to reassemble. Looks right to me. Oh, also, because of my speed being 4, yeah, it means my mask cannot be less than 4. So, yeah. Yeah, that looks like it's working. Looks like it's working. If I want to do something more interactive, instead of doing this, I'll just write to foo. Actually, I could just do it down here. Or I'm gonna delete this anyways. Doesn't freaking matter. Okay. I can't remember if I'm actually using foo or not. I don't think I am. That should be like the last, like one of the last memory locations that I'm using. And I don't need this thing. Ah, that's right. Since I don't update every frame, oh, this logic gets omitted. That's why I'm not seeing a steady 1 here, since I'm only updating the objects like every 4th frame. Which means, ooh, I feel like this is something I have to do every frame. This will be kind of ugly. Yeah. Ugh. And this uses arg 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I could do it at the end here. This is so much crap. I probably don't need to be doing all this work. Dang, 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 dang. Well, what do I want to do? Screw it. Okay, this will be 5, 6, 7, 8 then. 5, 6, 7, 8. Five, 6, 7, 8. 5. Wait a minute. I'm only doing X direction right now too. I've failed to consider Y. Yeah. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. This should be 7. Let's just see if I can get a stable number here. No. Seems to do it for this guy. Not for the other one? Weird. I wonder why these guys are all screwy. Seems to work for this one. Oh. It's screwy because there's multiple. So one of the objects is setting that variable to true, and the other is setting it to false. So like this will work because there's only one object on the screen. Wait. No, now it's not working. What the hell is going on? Nothing's ever so simple. Is Y being used here? Only in the same way. So it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, the draw up. Draw is still going. I think the draw. No, I shouldn't be drawing multiple. once that object is gone, it should be gone. Am I drawing? What is my... I might actually be drawing. If it's active, I think I do draw it. Yeah, it gets drawn. And by that I mean this method is called. Because I updated scroll position. So we've spawned 3 objects. They're all active, and that's why, even though they're not drawn, the render function is still called. Which is why I need to despawn stuff as soon as it's like X pixels away from the camera. So I think this is working. I just need to do the Y position. Yeah, and the Y is... The logic should be identical. I should be able to just copy paste this. I should be able to copy and paste this. And just swap these names around. Comment this. X pose check. And Y pose check. Y position check. Okay. So I get that. Now this should be 8. And this should be 6. Okay. Okay. This is so weird because I'll be updating the state basically from draw. But yeah, this is like an outside event that's occurring. So it's not really the main loop of the object. Yeah, this is why this assembly is cool. I like being able to do this kind of stuff. All right. Okay. So now, yeah, instead of doing this right to this variable stuff, that simply just does not work because there's other objects writing to that global variable. I'm just going to just add the breakpoint back. Okay. Yes. And yes. Looks like that's working. No? Why did you stop there? Why are you colliding? Oh. I'm colliding with an invisible object. That is what's happening. Good Lord. This needs to be moved. I can't do it up here. Check if object is window. Check if object is in window. If so, then draw. Load, 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 load. Check object in window. I think this is where I need to be doing my stuff. If object in window, check collision. Okay. Yeah, no colliding with invisible objects. Oh, freaking breakpoint is in a different spot. Okay, well, yeah, we're colliding. Okay. It doesn't look like I'm colliding with anything else now. Ugh. Who am I colliding with here? me back up. Actually, yeah, this is correct. What the hell is the index here? Mask, Y mask. Yeah, these are just mask values. Am I doing anything really funky? I don't think so. I don't want to step over, I just want to just step back. Okay, I think this is the first thing that gets done here. What is going on? Oh, I wonder what our... Is our X position correct here? It's saying it's 2, which I think is correct. $70D. $70D. Where is the flaw? Oh, where's the flaw? What the hell? Frustrating. No object in sight. Yet I'm colliding with stuff. Is this the case here? Doesn't seem to be the case here. Why don't when I only have these two objects loaded. Seems to work fine. So I still must be somehow checking when I shouldn't be. Because these ones work. Yeah, I think I'll look into this bug at a later time. I think for the most part it's working. Note to self, I have to fix this bug. Fix bug with okay, just to do fix bug with collision detection when other objects are spawned. Yeah, I'll have to look into that next time. All right, well, that will be it. Yeah, I went pretty late this time. A lot later than I normally go, but yep, I'll pick up working on this next time. Thank you for watching.